Good evening, everybody. This is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils, and this is Manchester United losing to Barcelona review. So, 1-0 was the score. Neymar was the scorer, and to be honest, don't feel strongly one way or another about it. It was a game of two halves without going massively cliched. Barcelona probably well worth their win. They was levels above Manchester United with their first team out in the first half. David De Gea had a lot of work to do. Although United probably had our best chance of the game in that first half. The shot which Lukaku blazed over the bar after a cross from Rashford was probably our closest chance to breaking the deadlock. We had a couple of decent long-range efforts. Pogba, Rashford, another one from Lukaku. It didn't really work for us tonight. And I think a lot of it's down to the formation, if we want to analyse it a little bit. And I think a lot of that's down to Michael Carrick. I think we saw against City when it was Herrera, who's obviously got a lot more energy than Michael Carrick, that there was times that, even though we won that game, there was times that we was massively overrun, and it was probably down to more than luck than judgment that nothing really came at us that we couldn't deal with. And I think we saw with a Barcelona midfield, we just didn't have the energy to match them or the manpower to match them. And I think I would have liked to have seen us go 3-5-2 against Barcelona. One, so it helps us protect two banks of three, wing backs floating in between, really making it tight and difficult for that Barcelona team to play in and out. Because when you try and man-mark a Messi, or you try and man-mark a Neymar, or you try and man-mark a Suarez, you get dragged all over the place because they don't stick to set positions. They're crisscrossing in front of you and they're mixing everybody up. And if you look at the calamity for the goal, I think that really explains how that Barcelona system properly works. They just mashed all the United defenders together, and then Neymar spins out of it and pulls it off. It was schoolboy defending from United, but I think that's just something that a three at the back can deal with a little bit better, because you can sort of pass men off a little bit easier, certainly when there's 3 against 3. When there's 3 attackers coming in between those two centre-halves, someone's always going to get missed out, and I think that's one of the benefits that Barcelona really prey on. But not just what we can do to deal with them defensively, I think you can put it on them offensively as well. And I think if you've got two strikers that are going to cause them problems and going to run the channels, and I think Rashford and Lukaku are excellent at that. I think if you're going to do that, then one thing that you can definitely do is you can put two strikers on their two centre-halves. Because of how high Barcelona's line is, the full-backs get right in the mix in the midfield or into attacking midfield even at times. And if you can run a channel 1v1 against a centre-half, well, I fancy Rashford and Lukaku to really do that. There's always space behind the full-backs when you play a team that plays the same sort of system as Barcelona play. Manchester City is always space behind the full-backs. And I just think it's something that I wouldn't mind seeing us exploiting. I don't like 4-2-3-1 against Barcelona. I don't think it works. I don't think using Michael Carrick in that midfield too is really going to work. You're asking him to do two men's work as it is anyway, because Pogba isn't going to do the defensive duties that you really need him to do. Although he was mucking in a little bit today. He just isn't that player. That's not his game. So you're asking him to do something that he's not very good at, and then you're nullifying him going the other way. That's why you need a 3-man midfield, and that's why you need to go a 3-5-2, and a little bit disappointed that Jose didn't try that today, because there was nothing to lose. You play the same old system against them, you get the same old results against them. And I wouldn't mind seeing United just have a go at that, do something a little bit different with it this morning. But there you go. That's it. The US tour is over. Not too mithered one way or another. Would have liked to finish on a win, just being a nice positive thing, picking up the ICC trophy. Not that it means a great deal, but it's just nice to start the season off as you mean to go on, isn't it? We didn't do that. The US tour is over. I probably consider it a little bit of a success. A little bit of a flat performance against Real Madrid. And then I think the Barcelona game tonight was possibly a reminder, or maybe a wake-up call, of how far away we really are from being a top-level side of a Barcelona-Real Madrid kind of level. Because they didn't really get out of first gear, and they didn't need really to get out of first gear. Now, we didn't have our strongest 11 out. They didn't really have their strongest 11 out either. But the front three of Messi, Neymar and Suarez caused us all kinds of problems, and we struggled dealing with them. On the counter-attack, they was fantastic. On the pressure, they was just fantastic. And we've got a long way to go before we can really say that we're able to match them up. Over 2 games, we might be able to get a result out of them if we manage to draw them in a latter stage of the Champions League, just because I think Jose can be a wonderful tactical manager, and certainly once he's figured out what this new manager Valverde's all about, I think he's got half a chance of doing just that. But tonight, pretty disappointing. pretty average game. I thought everyone was fairly ordinary. I've seen a few people ripping out Daley Blind. I didn't think it was that serious in all honesty. But no one else, apart from David De Gea, who was busy in the first half and probably carried into the second half, I guess, as the performance goes. Nobody really stood out. Pretty ordinary performance from everybody in a Manchester United shirt. And that's about that, isn't it, really? US tour's over. We've got Valgarena. Is it Valgarena? Have I said it right? Valerenga on the 30th. And then on the 2nd, we've got Sampdoria in Dublin. And then we've got the Super Cup on the 8th. So life is coming at us fast at the moment. Before you know it, it's going to be that West Ham game. And then we've got Swansea. And we are literally right into the thick of the season. And it's going to come at us really fast. Probably need to get another couple of them signings done and over the line if we're going to compete, because I think without Herrera today, I thought it really shown how weak that midfield can look. And I think if we had someone like Matic just sitting in alongside Pogba, a little bit more energy than Carrick, a little bit quicker than Carrick, it might have looked a little bit different. It might have looked different if we was able to play three there. But there you go. Let's see what you guys are saying in the questions. We are a very bad team because of what now? Fellaini, Blind and Carrick, we would be better off without them. Well, they're part of the squad, mate. So, listen, be a United fan. You know, there's nothing wrong with criticising performances if you're going to criticise them constructively. I've seen so many people today just being bitchy. Like, do you honestly enjoy football if that's what you're doing? Not for me. How many red cards for Bay this year? I'm going to say 3. Our forward players get no service and are expected to create out of thin air. 2 midfielders are needed. I don't think it's going to be 2 midfielders that are needed. I just think a switch up in system would allow us to create a little bit more, I think. How come Neymar had a United crest on his boots? Did he? I didn't see that. I'm sure it'll be in the Metro tomorrow. Do I think Mitchell will get game time now? No idea. I don't know whether to read anything into the amount of time people are getting this season or not. Fellaini offers very little going forward. Fellaini offers something, but not as a defensive midfielder. He definitely offers a little bit more in that final third where he can cause chaos. I mean, if you don't understand it, go check out what happened in the Europa final against Ajax where he was excellent. I need to go to sleep. Yes, I do, brother. It's a preseason game against one of the best teams in the world and we lost 1-0. Everyone needs to calm down, says Kyle. Correct, mate. Fullbacks need... I lost that comment. Sorry. Sign Messi. To be fair, someone had to say it, didn't they? Play the kids. We beat them 5-4. Yeah, we beat them... we beat them with a pretty ordinary side a couple of years ago on tour, didn't we? Hate seeing so many people say sell Blind. He's been crap tonight. But I don't even think he was that crap. He had a couple of mistakes, but some of the stuff that he was doing was pretty good. He was also dealing with going forward and then coming back and covering Messi, of all people. So I think you're allowed a mistake or two when it's Messi that you're dealing with. Yeah, and we lost to Barcelona. Not Basingstoke, for Christ's sake. We looked so bad against their B team. Well, it wasn't exactly our first team, was it? So, chill, man. We need fullbacks that can cross. I definitely agree with that. Herrera and Pogba and Pereira for a midfield 3. Might need someone a little bit more defensive. Pereira, sign Barcelona. Still building, lads. Great future ahead, and the future is red, says Aaron. That's an excellent point, mate. Right, I'm going to head over and hit up Facebook. If you want to come and continue the conversation, come and join me over there. If not, we'll see you later. Nice one. Thanks for joining us. See you in a bit.